And how is everybody doing today? It's a beautiful Sunday morning. I think I'm going to go sit outside in the sun here when I'm done talking to you folks for a little while after I get a little bit of other work done. But I wanted to go live today as I'm enjoying keeping up with the habit, because that's what my wife, Kristen, and I do, is we help people build habits. But I'm enjoying keeping up with the habit of being live and talking to people and answering some Q&A every single day. Not only do I think it's very beneficial to the audience, but I think it's very beneficial to myself at this time too. Like I really feel that this has been very good for me, being live about 7 days a week. And any day we're not like on vacation or something like that, or it's not a holiday, I've been live in the last couple of months. And I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope you have also. Please do share the channel, like, subscribe, all that stuff. I did also want to tell people that you can get a very good deal on our coaching and a very, very, very good deal on our consultation. The consultation, you get a month of the app weekly. You get a conference call with me, and you can use the app to track everything you want. You're in a hunger management support group, which is where I keep track of my food and my activity and stuff like that. And I'm about to go through. I reorganized a few things. I was going to do a different type of training block, but I'm going to be, talking to people this week on the hunger management support group about exactly how I'm viewing my training, what my actual goal is coming up here. So I wanted to revamp a few things. I felt like when I first started back again, it's like I keep evaluating myself. And I wanted to talk to people about this because we're about to get into this very interesting video to talk about what you do the day after a binge. Crystal and I coach people on a daily basis to help get them healthier through habits. And the reason why we do this is because, one, we're physical fitness trainers and coaches and stuff like that. We're addiction counselors too, we're addiction coaches, not counselors. But we also, a lot of what we do is based around trying to keep me healthy, right? And we realized this past time, I wanted to try to broaden my horizons and do a few other things physically, and I think that that's important to keep going. So I'm still going to be downsizing. I'm still going to be. I'm just going to do the athleticism different. I'm going to try to do a more varied approach with TRX some days. Other days I'll do physical bounding stuff. I'm going to. You can keep track of that there. It's a very good deal on our coaching. We talk to people on a daily basis, weekly video conferences to help them keep track of their daily habits and help them. We have many people that are binge eaters. We help them control that. That's one of the reasons why we're talking about this today. So today, now that I've given my spiel for the coaching and stuff like that and what you can get out of the app, even if you just join the app, I'm going to talk about Samantha Jo. I really just started following her channel recently, and she is doing the 30-day no fast food challenge, and she's talking about the day after a binge. And I thought it would be an interesting thing because one of the things that I focus on the most myself is that I focus on my binge eating, and I'm a little over 2 years between binges, and I'm going to give this young lady some advice, and hopefully the audience some advice on how to possibly help her contain this, and from there help contain her binge eating and her healthy habits, build healthier habits, that sort of thing. So I thought it would be a very neat opportunity to positively reflect upon this woman's journey and to give my very candid opinion about some of the stuff she does. I have not watched this full video. I started watching it this morning when somebody sent it to me, and I decided I was going to do a review on it, so I haven't watched the entirety of it. So, and I haven't watched a whole lot of her content. So I'm not exactly sure what to expect, how much I'm going to agree, disagree, what advice I can give, or what I think about the person, because I haven't really molded an opinion about it. For the record, even if I think she's some sort of total scam artist, I'd help her if she reached out to me, and I'd help anybody. Our coaching does not discriminate in any way. I don't discriminate in any way about my coaching. I have coached people of all genders, sexes, religions, orientations, whatever. I don't care about your religion. I don't care how you vote. I don't care about that. I want to get people healthy. And as long as you're willing to hear me say very truthful things, I'm good. I'll work with anybody. Angel, how are you? Janet, how are you? /2Kin, what's going on? Corey, how are you? Crystal, what's going on? Miss Gigi, VJ, how are you? Talks to Squirrels, what's going on? Cookies, Cactus Patch, M, Fox, Amelia, Jack Batman, Desert Fox. How are you doing? Aurele, how are you? I think I got that right. Now remembering Alan's words, cheat meals, not cheat days. The thing is, there's really no cheating. I mean, that's the thing. Like your body, you're not gonna. Your body knows what you ingested. You're not gonna just surprise it. You're not gonna cheat the system. Like the only thing you're cheating is like the people. Like it's just the open lie to yourself and stuff like that. There's not really a cheat day. Your body knows what calories you took in. So that's why, I mean, I really think that we should just view times that you eat just for pleasure and kind of not call it, not even put a negative connotation on it. Like it still should be a positive, like you're going to do this just for pleasure. Like you very clearly know that it's going to be just for pleasure because the food has no nutritional value and it's not, too much of it can be not good for you. Like it's the same, like if we just treated like, instead of it being a cheat meal, it'd be like just like you treat how you would be like treated with care. It's not really food; it's just for pleasure, So it's just for delicious taste. Exactly, it's just for the delicious taste, and that shouldn't be something that is demonized. Like if you can taste something delicious in portion and in good ratio to the rest of your food, you should be able to. My biggest things. One of the reasons why we developed the hunger management method, which we outline in this book right here, it's kind of the outline of or in this book right here, it's kind of like how we outline coaching and stuff like that, right? I make sure I have something just for pleasure or more pleasurable every single day. Like I don't have something just for pleasure, but I'll have something sweet because I like the taste of sweet occasionally, and that could be a sweet potato. It could be a protein pudding, something like that. So it's not necessarily something that's unhealthy, but it's not needed for anything else besides that, No, and everybody's different. At our coaching, we kind of build your lifestyle. Like we take you and your current habits, and then we just kind of adjust a little bit. One of the very first things that most of these people should do is if you want to focus on any habit, where to start, like if you're looking for a starting point, where to start is with your hydration. It is absolutely the biggest bang for your buck. It's what we have all of our clients do right off the bat is focus on hydration. It helps control your hunger almost immediately, or at least gets it under control to the point where it's reasonable, and then that and you can use no morbidity, which is a safe and effective natural version or competitor, I should say, to these harsh weight loss drugs that are out there. It is a non-stimulant, non-thermogenic, based for natural ingredients, patented at clinically tested human doses, literally designed to help block the mechanism that makes you hungry and help with stress relief. But hydration is the very first thing people start with. Anybody should start with that. It's the easiest, most manageable, most actionable. You can start immediately today and get more fluid in you. And almost, the vast majority of the population is chronically dehydrated, like vast majority, So we're going to go over this young lady's video. I want everybody, for real, I don't believe I've seen too much of her content. So if, even if I, go give her a follow, give her support in her journey to try to get healthy, we should support everybody. Support sometimes does mean we're not going to lie to the individual. I'm just saying that. So this is Samantha Joe's The Day After Binge, what it's really like and how I pick myself back up. This is about 26 minutes. I'm going to play her at 1.5 speed to start with. And then we might slow it down, but normally 1.5 for me is good. For those of you that think that I talk too fast already or that we're going to listen too fast, you should maybe listen a little faster. You should maybe just pick up the pace. So I'm just being rude and funny and truthful and all that shit at the same time because you should. So I just called myself funny, which is weird, but it's because just my brain's working that way. Anyway, here we go. Samantha Joe.
It's official. I'm a human and I'm not perfect. Pretty sure we all knew that already though. Typically, I would never put a day like this online. I shouldn't say never. It's not fun to be vulnerable and open up about things that you struggle with online because we're talking hundreds of thousands of people that can just weigh in, and frankly, the internet tends to use it to make people feel less than. Being vulnerable.
So the internet doesn't use shit. The internet's not an entity. Certain people that we choose to engage with may possibly use shit you put on the internet as, weapon against you. I am not a huge fan of when people complain about this. I mean, as somebody that spends a lot of like people that go into like your job is to share your life, like I feel for you because that's not what I do. It is absolutely not what I do. I do not like share my life. I don't want to share my life. I share a portion of my life, but my life is my life. I want to still be able to do what I can do. Like I want to be able to do all sorts of shit without having people think that I need to share every portion of my life, and a lot of these bloggers, their content is their life. So please don't complain about then people having positive or negative connotation with it. Like it is what you signed up for. This is not, I'm not, and I don't know how in depth she gets in that, but I don't like when people claim victimhood about something that's completely optional. Like, I mean, it's completely optional. So please don't claim victimhood about it. Like, don't get me wrong. Like I've received death threats and shit like that, but I still kept putting myself out there knowing that was it. Like I could have at any given time, like especially like the last 3 years, I could have shut up at any given time and my life likely gotten better, but I don't think that that's what's going to help people. So I accepted the fact that me putting myself out there was also going to result in possible ramifications. So please don't complain about that. Like, just on a side note, it just drives me crazy. Everybody wants to be famous online. But they only want to be famous how they want to be famous. And it's such a fucking victimhood mentality. Fucking shut the fuck up. I hope this changes because this has already annoyed me.
Online can definitely become a weapon. I know days like these are really hard for me. In the past, I handled the situation in a very negative way. I'm making this video because maybe if I had a video like this to watch, I would understand that it's normal to feel this way. I just think I would feel less alone. With all that being
okay, I like that.
said, yesterday was the first time in 23 days that I binged.
Already I can tell you, I feel bad for this woman for it. Okay. I know what that's like, especially like she had a couple days going, and like 23 days is for a lot of binge eaters, especially because I would imagine that she's like, when you're counting days for something, that means it's a struggle. So 23 days to stop binging. I would imagine that she has binged a lot, fairly readily often. I'm going to look at this woman and say, I bet you she had been a daily binger at some point in time. Just because she's fat, and that's what it will do to you. Like a huge portion of my maintenance of my weight loss, because I've lost close to 100 pounds. A huge portion of my maintenance of my weight loss is not binging. I'm 2 years and 2 weeks, a little over 2 years and 2 weeks past my last binge. So, I mean, I keep track, I keep track. And it's just, I think that means she has before. I just want to say to her, 23 days, is good. What I'm going to say right up here at the beginning, okay, which will probably be the biggest theme of this video as I'm getting at this. So if you are the next day after a binge, right? And especially if you are trying to separate yourself from binging, you are trying to get days in between your binges, because for a lot of people, they binge every single day. A lot of people's daily eating habits is actually a mentally justified controlled binge. When you're eating 4,000 or 5,000 calories a day to make it so you're 350 to 500 pounds, what do you want to call that? That's a binge. It's a daily binge. You're binging every day. When you're that big, we should just call it daily binge eating disorder, because when you're that big, if you're taking in 4, 5, 6, 7,000 calories a day, every day, that's binging every day. And most people, the vast majority of people that are 300 pounds, eat 3,500 to 4,000 calories a day. We should look at that as binging daily. We absolutely should. We should try to satiate ourselves on calories much less than that. 2,000 calories a day for the average male is going to end them up, unless they're very active, at about 200 pounds, which is obese for most males. The average male that's obese. 200 pounds it normally leaves the person viscerally obese, at least, especially if they don't work out a lot. If they don't work out and they're 200 pounds, you can very much rest assured that if it's a male, a lot of that 200 pounds is being carried in their belly in the form of visceral fat. It's what happens, right? So we should call being that big daily binge eating. We just absolutely should, because we all know it's the absolute truth, right? But if you're trying to separate yourself from that, feed yourself satiating calories the next day after a binge. Do not over restrict. Focus on getting your hydration in. Immediately wake up the next day after a binge and drink water, a lot of it. Like, if you normally start your day with 20 to 30 ounces, drink 30 to 60 ounces of fluid. Get your day started full. And you are going to feel bad about you. This is an actionable thing. You are now waking up and you are taking control of your life. You're taking control of the situation by actually drinking more fluid. It is the number one variable that you can have actually something to do with. So you wake up and you immediately drink a little bit more of water than what you normally would right at the very beginning. You are taking action to avoid a second day binge, because you are going to feel bad from binging the day before. So you are going to take action from it. You are going to assure that you, in fact, are full. You are going to fill your belly with as much much water as you can. Then you're going to have an all protein, healthy fat meal. You are going to have at least a third of the calories you would normally have. You are going to make sure that you are satiated and satisfied. So if you normally take in 16 to 1,800 calories a day, you are going to try to take in anywhere from 450 to 600 calories at a first meal after you've filled yourself up. You're going to make it a highly dense protein, healthy fat meal, because you are going to try to satiate yourself as quickly as humanly possible. Okay. And then after you are satiated, you are going to sit back. You are to continue to drink fluid the rest of that day. You are going to literally try to drink the maximum normal allowance that you give yourself of fluid for that day. You are going to sit back and think, what led to this binge? You are not going to let the binge rule over you emotionally. You are going to stop, compartmentalize, and you are going to say, how can I use this to my advantage to avoid a future binge? You are then going to start analyzing it like it's a science experiment, because then it's no longer an emotional hurting to you. You can look at yourself and say, what did I do yesterday that caused this binge? Was I dehydrated? Was I stressed? What emotional factors happened? What are these variables can I control? You are going to write down, even if you need to, a way of you to analyze exactly what you did the day before that might have led to days before that that you had the binge, because then you can possibly try to eliminate, avoid, or mitigate for future occurrences. You can try to see what mistakes were made, because you should view it as a mistake. Yes. Should you let that mistake cripple you into making more mistakes? No, you should use the mistake to learn from it. And that's what we do with our coaching too. That we help people try to learn from themselves, learn from their own behaviors, learn from how food treats their body, learn from the full food relationship. I just shared our link again for coaching. We've got a great deal for those of you on live right now. We've got a fabulous deal for coaching, and we can help you with this type of behavior, because this woman binged after a couple of days, and this is how you just binged yesterday. Michelle, for the chosen, this video is for you then. For real, this video is absolutely for you. Wake up right now. Drink some extra water, drink a bunch of fluid, drink some extra water, and then sit back. Think about if you have eggs in the fridge, some eggs cooked in butter, satiate yourself, sit down, drink some more water after that. And then what you will do is you will analyze why you binged yesterday. Now we're going to go back to this young lady's video.
which in reality should be something that I look on and say, that's progress. Because before starting my fast food journey and before the new year, I was binging every single day, if not sometimes twice. My health was—
That's awesome. So it's not awesome that was happening to you, but it's awesome that you admitted to yourself that you were binging every single day. Congratulations. Most people won't fucking do that, especially online. Even though you started off a little rocky with me, I'm much more liking it, Samantha Joe. But congratulations on that. That's huge. To me, that is absolute bravery. Like, because now you are actually admitting the actual fucking problem. You're not blaming it on society. You're not blaming it on anything like that. You are binging. You are eating too much. Out fucking standing. And congratulations on your first 23-day stretch, because that's fucking huge. That is fucking huge. That is a long amount of time. So congratulations. That is fucking enormous. That in of itself is very, very, very good. Like very, very, very good. It is much better than every single fucking day. I'm super proud of you. You should be super proud of you. Now, instead of it being that type of thing, let's make sure that we celebrate recovering from a binge. Like, so now you have something to celebrate today. Today is the day that you don't binge a second day in a row, when normally in the past, I would imagine that one binge normally sends you into a binge cycle, which it does for me too, because I have all the stressors that led up to the binge, and then I have the stress from binging. So that's one of the reasons why we tried to break the binge cycle, by making it very analytical, which is what I suggest you do too.
Was in a very steep decline. I don't know what switch got going in 2023, but I'm just so determined to live a different life this year and to really try and change. When I saw Sierra do her no fast food challenge, I said, this might be exactly what I need. I can't even begin to explain what this challenge has done for me.
That's awesome. See, this is the energy we need. I had a bunch of people, they were pissed off that I actually went over Sierra Joe's no fast food thing. Well, you would be mad at this person if they were doing that person doing that. Like, first of all, I judge everybody differently, because I'm an actual fucking human being, and I'm not some fucking lemming in the fucking woke mentality mob. Here we're back. Okay. So what I was saying before, do I think there's something that Sierra Joe could do to make herself a little healthier? Yes. If she reached out to me and asked for it, I would offer it to her. I hope she watches all my content, and I hope she understands that I mean the best for anybody. Absolutely. I think that this young woman, besides doing the just 30-day of no fast food challenge, because I'm going to get to why I don't necessarily like the fast food challenge, but I also like it. I think there's plenty more that she could do to do a lot better with this, but this is a start. This is a positive way forward. This is an absolute positive thing where people are starting to be like, hey, let's challenge ourselves to be healthier. And it's not even some sort of radically extreme health thing. That's another reason why I like it, because this shows that small steps can lead to big things. I don't necessarily like that it still includes junk you could eat at home, because it's only fast food. Well, you can cook like shit at home too, like absolute shit at home. And we're going to get to that here in this video, I'd imagine also. But I think these are all amazing. This is the type of energy we need in society. We need like trends of like, okay, so I tried this healthy thing. So I tried to eat less processed food. So I tried to, depend upon chemicals and or like other crazy stimulus and food to deal with my emotions. I didn't emotionally eat this month. I dealt with my shit instead. Like, we need stuff like that. I mean, we absolutely need stuff like that. We need people to start challenging each other and supporting each other in that shit. If you think that I'm some hateful person from watching my content, you have missed the fucking point. I hate that people lie about this bullshit. I hate anybody. I don't hate them, but I have no respect for anybody that tries to in any way make it seem like obesity is not a choice that people can change, that is absolutely hurting people. It is unhealthy 100% of the time. If you think that people trying to pretend that being obesity is in any way not healthy, and we're so far gone, like over the tipping point of what actual obesity even is. Like, the average man is obese. Reality. Like, it's not even the test holidays. It's the fucking clown show that like Tess Holliday should even be speaking about health. That's a fucking clown show. That upsets me too. But people that are trying to better themselves, I work with morbidly obese people every single day. As long as you understand, I'm trying to speak very truthful words so you understand me very plainly and clearly. I am not trying to lie to your face. I am trying to be as respectful as possible because you are a full-on ass adult and you understand reality around you. I pay people the respect of that. Like I pay people the respect of being fat is bad for you. This is reality. You weigh too much. It hurts you physically. Like gravity is pulling too hard on you. Your body, your skeleton, your muscles are not ready to take the fucking girth you have. I am trying to be nice about it. It's the people that are lying to you with the smiles on their faces, telling you things that they think you want to hear. That is the actual evil, people. Like that is the actual problem. People telling you like you're fine at 300 pounds. That is an evil fucking thing to say, you know? So anybody starting any journey that can get them even a little bit healthier, I am 100% down and supportive of. If you want to take the next steps, Samantha Joe and the Sierra girl, I will gladly help you with that too.
I'm not eating fast food doesn't mean that my eating disorder goes away. And the past couple of days, I've just genuinely been like overwhelmed in both happy and sad ways. Like I'm so grateful that I've been doing so well with my mental health, but at the end of the day, I suffer from depression, anxiety, ADHD. There's more that I'm in the process of working through diagnosing.
Depression, anxiety, ADHD. Okay, so ADHD is not something you suffer from. It's something that you don't learn to live with. ADHD, people do not suffer from it. You just fail to learn how to use it correctly. I'm super like, it is not a fucking disability. I don't even like when people call it a disability. It is not a disability at all. At all. Describing my ability to think of 20 fucking things all at the same time in intense detail, and my ability to literally hyper focus on something that interests me to the point where hours disappear. That is not something I suffer from. That is something that I am gifted with, that I just need to learn how to accept myself for who the fuck I am. I find it amazing. I find it absolutely fucking amazing that people will medicate themselves to the nth degree for their ADHD instead of first trying to be as healthy as humanly possible and trying to deal with the ADHD, or at least moving towards that as a factor. People literally take an addictive substance prescribed to them by doctors. Adderall is a massively addictive substance. You would rather take an addictive substance than learn to live with this shit. And I mean, again, I don't like, there are things about like all of this. Like we're going to talk about ADHD for a second because we're going to have an ADHD moment. There are times when all of this is not the fucking funnest. Like my ADHD sometimes is crazy. It upsets me sometimes. Like I will be in the middle of talking to somebody and fucking just move on to the next topic and not realize it until I realize I hurt that person's feelings. I hate that I do that sometimes to Crystal. I hate to do that I do that to even the audience sometimes because I know I do. I don't like doing that. It's something that just fucking happens, right? So there are things about my personality when it comes to my ADHD quirks that I wish I could change and I work on very focusedly on a daily basis. Right? I absolutely do, because it is not good to not be in the moment. I can tell you this, my ADHD is massively more under control and more at my disposal, you know, when I'm not taking in processed carbohydrates, I'm not taking in processed foods, I'm not drinking alcohol, when I'm trying to just, you know, when I'm properly hydrated, I get proper sleep, proper stress relief, exercise, my ADHD becomes much more of a weapon. It becomes much more of like this tool I'm able to use and able to manipulate to the point where I'm able to, even with, you know, then add some like herbs to it, different teas, caffeine sometimes, or neurotropics that I'm able to kind of guide into like, okay, like I know I need to read a study and then be totally engrossed in the topic for like the next like 4 hours. So I'll make sure that I don't have a lot of caffeine in me, you know, or I've only had caffeine like 3 or 4 hours ago, and I'll take some mental jewels. So I'm just like fucking zoomed in, and I'll do it in the middle of the day because I know at the middle of the day, that's when I'm most apt to be hyper-focused because I've paid attention, because my ADHD, again, is not something I suffer from. It's a tool I use to be able to accomplish the things I can accomplish. I don't necessarily like when people try to refer to having ADHD as some type of disability, when in fact it is something that we should just help the person learn to use, because oftentimes people that have the ability to multitask and pay attention to multiple different things, like the actual potential for somebody with ADHD to be an incredible multitasker is immense. Why don't we fucking just go with that? Like, make it so like we find things that are good for them to multitask with, or things that they like that they multitask together. I don't, it's something to me, like, why take a harmful medication about something that could end up being a positive if you treated your body healthily and managed in a healthy way, and learn to live with and learn to use. Like, I don't understand why we even go to ADHD medication about people's brains working too fast. Like, think about that. Like, for the most part, like there's different types of ADHD. There's high process, there's slow process, those sorts of things, right? But for a high process person with ADHD, why in the fuck? Why in the fuck would we like give them medication? Like, don't we want people like they think at a quick pace? Let's find out how to use that for them. That's their superpower. It's very fucking strange, to me, that instead of like, we treat all kids the same. We feed them all sugar and shit like that, and they wonder why some of them can't fucking handle it. Maybe your kid on sugar, maybe your kid maybe this woman doesn't even have ADHD. Maybe she just has processed carbohydrate poisoning. Most of obesity should be viewed as a poisoning. Like, most of obesity is processed carbohydrate poisoning. If we just viewed it as processed carbohydrate poisoning, maybe we'd get a little bit more attention. But it's not even processed carbohydrates. We could just call it, most of obesity is processed food poisoning, because there wasn't that much obesity before the processed food market. We can have a whole other line of conversation. I'll probably do a couple videos about this, where I think we should view it that way. And that's one of the reasons why for this woman's video, she's taking out a lot of processed carbohydrates in her life, hopefully. Back to it, by the way.
Of that maybe one day I will share, but just because I have a good couple of weeks doesn't mean that those problems are just gone. 2022 was just full of depression episodes. Usually the day after I binge, I'll either overeat again just because I already ruined it, so why not keep it binging, or I punish myself by not letting myself eat. I don't think that
Yes, those are very common, and as I said at the very beginning, those are both very common and very serious mistakes. Wake up, get plenty of hydration in you. Very first thing, take action. Wake up and say, fuck, I'm pissed I binged, I'm going to drink some fucking water. Fuck, I'm pissed I binged, I'm going to drink some fucking water right now. Fucking bullshit. Fuck. God damn it. So drink a bunch of water. I'm going to eat these eggs because I know it's going to satiate me, and I know it's going to keep me full for most of the day. That way I'm not going to overeat today too, since I fucked up yesterday and I binged. God damn it. Why did I binge? Let me think about what caused the binge. That's get ahead of it. Get ahead of it. So don't undereat. Don't over restrict. You're not going to chase this motherfucker, right? The idea is to put days between it. So you don't need, this isn't going to be the norm. You don't need to make up for it. It's a fucking anomaly. It's like a holiday that you took unscheduled, that you're pissed at yourself for allowing yourself to do so. But just because you ate 6,000 calories one day does not mean you're not going to fucking chase it off, Give yourself, satiate yourself. Give yourself sustenance. Allow yourself to be fed for the day. Like, don't, spend another day hurting yourself, even if it's the other way, because just over restricting is just that. It's hurting yourself. You're punishing yourself for something that you should be using as a tool to learn from. The punishment's already there. The punishment came with it. The punishment was the binge. The punishment was the excess calories and how you feel right now physically. The punishment's already there. You don't need to continue to punish yourself. You need to learn from the mistake to avoid the punishment in the first place. Easier said than done. I absolutely know.
Either of those are the healthy, correct response. I laid in bed until 12 today because I felt so shit about myself. I very much so have been focusing on the fact that I messed up and I was doing so good, instead of thinking about the fact that I went from binging every single day to doing it once in 23 days. And it's
excellent. And I'm very happy she switched her mind frame from it. So now I really hope that she tries to learn what she did wrong.
just on food in my pantry. I think what I'm taking away from me binging last night is I need to dedicate more time to myself. I've been so excited about everything happening on my TikTok and on YouTube and just the love that I have felt from you guys that I think I failed to take human moments. Nothing good is going to come out of today if I make it another bad day. I've been
Fucking yes. Yes. Fucking yes. Hell yeah. That is absolutely right. Don't let it give you another bad day. Learn from this shit. That's absolutely right. I hope you got a lot of fluid in you.
It happened. The way I react now is what's going to determine if I go down the same path I've gone down a million times before with this eating disorder, or I can take a step in a direction that I genuinely have never really taken before, which is healing. The path of healing is always harder than the path of destruction. It sucks, but that's the truth. I don't know. I'm just really over it. I've been preaching to you guys about being 1% better every day, and for me to choose to throw away everything that I've worked for this month because I binged a singular time would be me going against everything that I've been telling you guys. I don't want to be
very nice. And I mean, obviously, this is a case where a very rare case where her social media following is helping her. It's a very rare case. That's the thing about complaining about the beginning is what I was on. But anyway.
Someone that comes on the internet and doesn't practice what they preach anymore. So as scary as it is to vlog your hardest days, I think those are the videos that are going to have the most benefit. I don't want to be putting out stuff on the internet that is pointless. Every once in a while, I'm going to make y'all laugh. But I think there's a deeper meaning to the reason I was given a platform. And if it means putting myself out there in my most vulnerable states, sign me up, I guess. When I came downstairs this morning, my kitchen was a mess. A lot needs to be cleaned. I think it's a part of what built me up to my moment yesterday. I need to prioritize certain things better and just get on a better schedule. So today we're going to clean everything. I'm going to try not to sit down because I've learned once I sit down, I pretty much don't get back up. I'm going to be
very good. No shit. Very good. That's a fucking super good habit. You know what that also tells me too, is that you should get your activity and other stuff done early in the day. Like you should make sure that earlier on the day is like your prep up for the next day. Like if you go one meal a day, you make sure, like I have a lot of my clients when they come to us, I have them like take control of a meal no matter what. Like make sure that meal is prepped. You can't if you're not used to taking complete control of your total eating, just plan one meal and have some variables for the other ones. You know what I mean? It just gets you started in the idea of planning. But if you know that once you sit down, you stay down, try to like make sure that you prioritize the tasks you get done earlier in the day too.
Gentle with myself today and be very intentional today about the things that I'm doing. We're going to make some fun food. I'm going to get my clothes put away. I'm going to take a nice shower. It's going to be great. Even though inside my brain, I'm so angry with myself. If I feed into those negative thoughts, I'm only going to end up in the same place that I've always been. You know what they say, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. I'm going to try and do something different today in hopes that it leads me down the path of a different outcome. If you're someone that struggles with your relationship with food or any type of ED, even though a lot of EDs are different, I do feel like we all share the same kind of thoughts and struggles. You're not alone.
I love you, bitch.
Even though it can feel incredibly isolating and lonely. I'm going to make breakfast and I'm going to try and come up with some fun thing to make for dinner. I'm still going to take care of myself today because I don't deserve to be punished for one bad moment. I already cleaned my kitchen. You'd be so proud. She's looking quite good. The rug is still sitting there from when you guys watched me switch it out. We got to change that. If you look around, there's just things that need to be cleaned. If you only knew the amount of clothes that were upstairs waiting for me to put them away. I definitely have a day that's full of activities and tasks. I'm in a mental battle at the moment. The difference is I'm actually going to try and win it this time.
So the cool thing is, and this is what I suggest everybody, she made it so she was very busy that day too. Like you want to fill your day. You want to be as productive as possible. You don't want to sit and wallow. You don't want to be like, why the fuck did I binge yesterday? What the fuck? I'm a weak piece of shit, blah, blah, blah. Like run through all those scenarios in your fucking head, right? Because that's what happens. Like I know when I binge, I'm like, fuck, the fuck, I'm fucking suck. It's like fucking so hard. Like, why the fuck is this hard? I remember my last one thinking to myself, like, why the fuck is this hard? You know, like I can physically make myself do all sorts of insane, crazy shit. But occasionally I have to watch a movie of myself gorging myself. It's because it really seems for me when I binge, it's like watching a movie of myself just shove food in my fucking face. Like it's bullshit, right? So it's very frustrating. But if you just wallow in that shit the next day, it just causes more and more and more and more stress to be released by another binge. It's just unproductive. So this woman's doing a great fucking job. Absolutely fabulous fucking job.
I guess I should make breakfast.
1 hour later.
Good.
As soon as I turned off the camera, I just got sad. I was make a coffee because making coffee makes me happy. I turned off the camera and I got really sad because I feel like I'm trying so hard. I should feel so good. And I have been feeling so good. I know today is just going to be hard because I'm mad at
Drink water, drink water, drink water, drink water, drink water.
myself. I just wish I was normal sometimes and didn't have these struggles.
The thing is, you are normal. Like everybody has these struggles. Like even thin people have these struggles. Like that's what I think. Like I think that there's a huge breakdown. Like, you know, like fat people are like, you don't understand me. You know how hard I've worked not to be fat? I mean, the mental fucking struggle, the embarrassment of coming on fucking line and saying like, hey, you know, I've eaten myself this big because I wanted you guys to fucking click like on videos so I could of me squatting heavy weight as a fucking middle-aged dude. The embarrassment of that, like the embarrassment of saying like I was fucking eating 10 McDoubles to be stronger every single day, like so I could fucking like, you know, get social media clicks when I've got a fucking incredible wife and kid at home that want to see me around when I'm fucking 90. Like it's embarrassing, like to become like I really feel I grew up and realized like what the fuck am I doing? You know, like what the fuck is this shit? I grew up and was like, this is stupidity, you know? It was embarrassing as fuck. It's hard for everybody. Like nobody has it easy. And I think this is a huge problem with the whole victim mentality of bullshit. People tend to think like nobody else is struggling for some reason. Everybody struggles. It's social media. I know, I can tell you this. I promise you this. You are not alone in your mental suffering or your self-doubt or anything like that. Every fucking human being has that. I think it is much harder to have confidence in yourself in the social media era than ever before because there is judgment worldwide. Like you know how it's fucked up to say, but I have a worldwide audience. You know how I know? Because I have clients in Australia, because I have clients in Japan, because I have clients, you know, in all over fucking Europe and all over fucking, you know, I have the only place I don't like big country I don't have clients in is China. Like I've had clients in Hawaii. I have clients in Ireland. I've had clients in UK. I get watched all over the fucking world. That's a humbling fucking thing. Like, I mean, we're like, oh shit. Like, I mean, it's so easy to feel down about yourself because we are exposed to so much more possible negative shit. It is so much harder to actually be confident in yourself, but you are not alone. Nobody is normal. When it comes to their food, especially, nobody is normal. Everybody is struggling a little bit in some way. I know very few people, Crystal may be one of a very few people that does not think about their food, that does not struggle with food or something like that, but there's other struggles. Everybody is struggling. It is the social media age. Everybody is. If everybody could just accept that everybody was, they could make better decisions. But everybody is struggling. Again, as I said, we should just view obesity as binge eating disorder. Like we should just view the fact that anybody that is 100 pounds overweight, anybody 100 pounds overweight has an eating disorder. Why can we not? Why can we not recognize this? It is the biggest danger to our society, and we will not recognize that this woman here, seems super sweet, and I'm super proud of her. I don't even know her, but I'm super proud of her for the epiphanies she's having here. But she's got an eating disorder. She clearly does. And if she doesn't think in some way it's been like, there might be multiple eating disorders. More than one thing can be true at one time. I understand people are like, well, I'm recovering from an eating disorder. And I don't know if this is her, but I get it all the time. People are like, I'm recovering from an eating disorder. That's why I eat the way I do. Like, motherfucker, if you're 100 pounds overweight, you are still in the throes of an eating disorder. You might have a separate one that we need to pay special attention to when we get you back to a healthy weight that you then don't over restrict. We need to pay attention to that shit too. Maybe you have dual eating disorders, but if you're 100 pounds overweight, you are definitely eating too fucking much. It is definitely binge eating. Because you are binging every fucking day, you know? And you're not alone. You are not alone.
Maybe if I was normal, I wouldn't be able to make videos like this and to help you guys and make you feel less alone. Oh my gosh. Coffee brings love to the soul. I never leave beans in here because I think that they're gonna go stale. It always makes a mess. It's just so off. I've been going to coffee shops every single day, so I haven't made my own coffee in a while. It's always so therapeutic, but I've been cutting.
And this is nothing against her, but just if I'm making facial expressions, just watching people blog their fucking life, I don't know. I don't like. And it's nothing against her. I know a lot of people watch this content and like these type of stuff, but no. Just not no.
Back on caffeine, so I refuse to have 2 cups of coffee a day. Does decaf espresso exist? Let me know. Then I can make a coffee at home and then go to the coffee shop. Or I can make my caffeinated latte at home and just get like decaf coffee at the coffee shop. Here she goes.
Wells Fargo.
Okay, so hopefully we get back to the regular content we're here to talk about. So nothing against her. And again, absolutely nothing against you at all.
was the best thing ever. I wiped off my puck screen with a towel. How are you supposed to clean this puck screen? Because mine gets full. Go on Amazon and order a new filter.
No.
Can you for a moment? That's the whole premise of this video, I guess. Don't give up. Anyways, okay, I need to eat something.
I beg to differ.
Even though it's far past
No, you needed to eat something.
breakfast time, I'm still gonna make breakfast. I've been loving avocado toast. Not even just forcing myself to eat avocado toast. I've been.
You should, just so everybody knows, she should have already eaten. She should have eaten at normal breakfast time. Okay, you should have, and the only starting your day off with processed carbohydrate, not necessarily the best idea either. Day after a binge, and I mean, I'm not chastising her. She's starting off with her normal, which I'm not even saying that you should be starting your day off with avocado toast every single day if you're actually serious about your health and weight loss, because you're starting your day off with a processed carbohydrate that enters your bloodstream much quicker. Even if you're using like the Ezekiel bread toast, it's still a processed carbohydrate that enters your bloodstream quicker, causes a greater insulin response with your body. It's going to have you hungrier all day long. And we manage hunger here. Like this is what we do. We manage hunger. And that's what that's for also. I would like for Samantha Joe to reach out to me though. Samantha, I bet you we can help you through No Morbidity and Product 2 coming up and some pointers and tips. We can help you get to a healthy weight and have a healthy lifestyle. Like the motivation is there. Like if you're as motivated as she is, we can help you, you know, or if you're ready, if you're at the point of acceptance of where you're at, we can help you. If you're at her point of acceptance, we can help you. Absolutely. 100% of the time.
Loving it. I haven't hated avocado toast, but I haven't enjoyed it. I feel like I've truly perfected my avocado spread. It's probably nothing groundbreaking or revolutionary, but avocados is so special. Overkill. Avocado has.
Don't care.
Can you just picture? You can see me making my egg. I've actually had a bunch of you guys tell me that cooking oil is.
And again, I'm not being rude with the don't cares. I don't care about your avocado toast. I'm not
good. What else would I use? Like butter.
Or
this year too, when I've been cooking us breakfast, but still. So waiting on my egg to bake. Try to do it now. It said to put a little water in the pan. So let me show you how I make it.
A few moments later.
Oh shit. Made it in sandwich form before.
Good for her.
Somebody. Good shit. I have to keep being productive. I just have to keep moving. No sitting.
I'm really liking it. She did this video. And she's doing a very good job, by the way. And Samantha Joy, I hope this worked for you not to binge. I don't know if we're going to get to this entire video here today. But very, like, I'm super, like, you're keeping busy. You should have eaten earlier. Like, you should have started your day off with like all protein, literally just some eggs and butter. Boom. The day after a binge, eggs and butter, satiate yourself, tons of hydration. I wouldn't necessarily say a bunch of coffee if you're doing one cup a day, but 60, 70 ounces of fluid should be in this woman already. She should probably be drinking. She looks like she's 250 pounds, 220 pounds. I'm not sure how tall she is, but she should be drinking about 200 ounces of fluid a day. You know, get 60 of that out of the way right off the bat, right after you binge. But keeping busy, very, very, very good.
The reason I'm going to clean today is because I do think my house just not being in order is one of the things that's stressing me out. Like me not having time to do it, when in reality I can make the time to do it. In my mind, me cleaning my house right now is helping prevent this from happening again.
That's awesome. That's awesome. She's using it. She's using it as a learning tool. What stressed me out in the first place? This did. I'm going to take care of this now, today. I'm going to use the energy and keep myself busy today. That's such a fucking amazing thing. That is an amazingly good habit. Not just to avoid binge eating, but for everything. It stressed me out yesterday. What can I do to avoid it today? If you can. Like, that's an amazingly good habit to get into just in life in general, but that's fucking awesome. So happy to see she fucking saw that.
It does not need to be perfect. I'm gonna vacuum. Ever since I got my new vacuum, it's become very satisfying. That probably is showing my age. Like, I'm beginning to enjoy vacuuming. I'm actually almost out of this. I can probably do December. I was uber depressed. Career-wise, I didn't know what I wanted to do because I just didn't have a passion for creating content anymore. I think you guys could tell that also. I was also just going through a lot in life, and it was just a rough couple months. And one of the things that gets hard with my depression is like keeping things clean. Do you get where I'm going with this? Doing laundry. I had so much.
You know, and this is not to be harsh to Samantha Joe, but I do wonder how much depression in our society is real, or if it's just obesity-driven depression. Like obesity biologically drives depression. So I wonder, like, how much of like, and this is what and Samantha Joe, if you do watch this, understand, I'm saying this to you to hopefully motivate you to take the extra step. You've already taken one step with the 30 days of fast food. Like, I think we can do this in another way. And I'm probably going to make a video for the people that are coming off of 30 days of no fast food in general. Like, I'm probably just going to make a freestanding video out of this, but I do think you should take, once you get off that for 30 days, you should be like, okay, no processed food for 30 days. Like, I know that sounds insane for people to think about, but if you just go no processed food for 30 days, even 15 days, it's a big thing. It's a big step. It's very telling and showing. How much weight you would likely drop is huge. But also, you keep talking about depression and your depression and other things too. Your depression is very, very, very likely, at least partially caused by your obesity, chemically, like actually, absolutely chemically. So that should be incentive for you, especially if you are pharmaceutically medicated for depression. That should be incentive for you to lose the rest of the weight, to get as healthy as possible. For anybody out there, and I could do videos about this week, obesity causes depression. I don't like, it's another reason why they don't want you to lose weight, because like, and when I say they, I mean the pharmaceutical industry and the food industry. They don't want you to lose weight, and they pay fucking billions of dollars in advertising dollars a year to try to prevent you from fucking taking the stages to not eat their processed food and therefore not need their pharmaceuticals. They spend tons of money on it every year. Like, get there faster, for real. Okay. When I say they don't want you healthy. It's like the big food companies, the big pharma companies, the trucking companies that truck all the shit back and forth, everything like that, and the politicians that all these companies and all these industries have purchased do not want you healthy because it cuts into their money. But take the 30 days no fast food and go 30 days no processed food. Just eat whole meats, vegetables, and fruits for 30 days. It'll change your world. Like, it'll completely change your world, and you can build healthy habits out of that and go from there with it. Like, you can keep building on that,
Much laundry to do. It just became so overwhelming to the point where I just didn't know what to do with it anymore. Uploading daily during Vlogmas, I didn't have the mental capacity to be working around the clock and also doing like 18 loads of laundry. So it has just added up to the point where now I'm kind of almost out of clothes. I'm uploading daily again on TikTok and Shorts and still doing all of these YouTube videos on top of it. So I was like, you know what is wrong with me getting somebody to help me get caught up? Why is that such a bad thing in my mind? So out of curiosity, I looked up how much it costs for wash and fold services, and it said it was $2.50 per load. Looking back on it, that definitely was like a too good to be true price. Regardless, I saw the price. I said, okay, yes, it'll just help me get caught up. If I just can get caught up, I won't be so overwhelmed and I can keep up with, like, I knew that I just fucked up. I was so pounds of clothes. After tip and taxes, that means you guys are watching this video, I'm able to help myself out in moments like that. I was vlogging when the guy came to drop detergent because she needed the baby detergent. He looked so hungry. The whole laundry situation ended up costing me an Amazon package. I pretty much live in my kitchen now. I realized there's kitchen stuff.
Okay. I do suggest too, like people trying to get off this stuff, and I think I'm about done with this video. So, because I want to answer your questions, but getting used to drinking, cooking your own food, be in the kitchen more, that is an outstanding step also. I am going to tell everybody, go watch the remainder of her video. Please go give her the views, subscribe to her channel, wish her nothing but the best. Tell her I said, hey. I do absolutely think that I could help her or anybody in her case out, or anybody in her situation out. And I know that sounds like awfully, like, what we need to start doing is just changing our view stance on this. And people like her, I'm super happy for her and super proud of her. Here's what I don't like about the 30-day challenge for fast food. You can eat a lot of shitty food at home. And people oftentimes don't include restaurants as fast food. And you can eat a lot of fucking shitty food at sit-down restaurants too. It really does. I mean, fast food this is kind of while I'm proud of you for making that step, it is a very small step, but sometimes we need baby steps. So after that baby step, then take another step to go no processed food. And the fucked up thing is, you can still eat no processed food at restaurants. You can still go out, and by processed food, you should just really can look for things of a heavily processed nature, such as processed, like processed deli meats when you're out, and bread, sugary items. If you take it that next step and only eat whole foods, vegetables, and fruits for a month, and then occasionally add back in something, like, it would be just very beneficial for people. And I think the 30 days is a good idea to build habits for, but it just should not be like, we're at a weird stage in society right now that it is at, and it shouldn't be. I'll tell you where it shouldn't be, because then I got to stop. It doesn't matter if it shouldn't be or should be. It isn't. So therefore it doesn't matter whether it should or shouldn't. But it shouldn't be this huge leap to not eat fast food for 30 days. Like, it's a very scary, bad sign for society that's a challenge for a lot of people. You know, no fast food for 30 days. I haven't had fast food in years. Like actual drive-through fast food, I haven't had it in years. Like two years, and we did it 2 years ago during 2020 when we went kayaking and we camped in the swamp basically. And when we came out, the first meal I had was Arby's, and I got 2 tubs of meat. I still didn't get processed carbohydrates. I just got the deli meat. That was the last time I ate fast food. You know, it shouldn't be this big thing, you know, it shouldn't be this huge event. But I'm going to answer some questions. If you have questions, let me know. Even if it's something that you agree with, disagree with, please do. I do highly encourage, I highly encourage those few, because what's weird is I don't get a lot of dislikes on my videos. It's very strange. But those of you that come just to be hateful, or just because you disagree, let me know. We can talk about this shit. Like, I'm not afraid to talk to these motherfuckers. I don't understand why they're afraid to talk to me. It's crazy. I ate a salmon patty and protein shake for breakfast. I get much less hungry if I do a high protein breakfast. High protein, healthy fat, always first. Always first. You know, portion control is a skill many do not have. You know, I agree with the portion control issue, but a lot of it is just like, it's not necessarily, it's that people will just make themselves hungrier with how they eat is a huge portion of this. People are hungrier to begin with because of just when you're fat, you're hungrier because your body's more. Like, it's one of the reasons why No Morbidity works so well. It just is, you know. And for those of you, again, you can get No Morbidity at tigerfitness.com, ambrosiacollective.com, Vitamin Shop, and it is a non-stimulant, non-thermogenic based appetite suppressant, safe and effective alternative to these harsh pharmaceutical, very expensive weight loss drugs that are out right now. Very safe and effective alternative that I can produce that have lost many people that have lost 15 to 20% of their body mass in 4 to 6 months, when 15 to 20% is what the harsh pharmaceutical drugs claim in 68 to 72 weeks. You know, it's like, it's out there. We need to realize we need to get there. And all of these things, all of them, No Morbidity, the harsh pharmaceutical drugs, like these drugs like Wegovy and Ozempic and stuff like that, all of these things should be used as a tool to build a healthier lifestyle, such as this young lady that we just saw is trying to do for herself. She's building a healthier lifestyle. So even if you are on No Morbidity, start off getting an ounce of fluid per pound of body mass, focusing on protein forward, nutrition, like protein, healthy fats, then fill in with carbs at the tail end. Carbohydrates should be eaten normally mostly in the evening. Breakfast, start off with just protein, healthy fat. And then if you have breakfast, your first meal be protein and healthy fat. And then whatever carbs you're going to have them later on the day. So if they have a glycemic response with your body, you'll be you'll be hungry less of the day. Like if you eat something sweet first thing in the morning and your insulin starts pumping and you're hungry all day long, you're more likely to eat more all day long. But if you have something that might, spike your insulin later on in the evening, you're only hungry for a couple hours before you go to bed. I mean, it's just very basic steps. We do this with our coaching too. So please do check that out, or you can get a consultation. We've had a few people get consultations already here on this. So please do grab one right now. I appreciate it. If you use this deal, it's 33% off. And it's just for the lives. So please do check it out. Now let's get to a few more people. I've been no processed food for 6 years. Great goddamn job. My coworker who met me less than 6 years ago thinks I'm a decade younger. It's wonderful. I mean, it helps, Is it a hormonal effect? A hormonal effect? You're going to have to elaborate what your question was, because I don't know. I spoke about quite a few things here. If you're talking about depression, that's part of it. Yeah. I mean, being obese leaves you in a chronic inflammatory state. It causes depression. Hang on a second. Harvard says being overweight is a risk factor in conditions diabetes, heart disease, and even certain types of cancer. Whoops. Study from France shows that more than 9,000 older adults in 10 years confirm that obesity is associated with depression. So, and I mean, then there's always going to be the people that are like, well, it's because how society treats us, blah, 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 blah. It's hormonal also too. Your body is producing more estrogen than it needs. Your testosterone levels are out of fucking whack when you're obese as a male or female, because I mean, fat, your body fat is an organ on your body, and it produces estrogen. So there's truth. Yeah, there's absolute truth that says obesity causes depression. Absolutely. My husband is on 2 years with cutting out drive-through and made the last changes. He made a video or post. He's doing it for life. That's awesome. That's awesome. I can't imagine being completely broken by laundry, but okay, I hear you. I hear you. It's first world problems. Alan, this morning I gave myself the permission to overeat thanks to period and sleep deprivation due to intense cramps. Once you change your eating habits and food choices, your binge looks different. That is absolutely like. People don't understand this. If you are hormonally more hungry, like if for women on your cycle, there's likely 2 days before or 2 or 3 days before or 2 or 3 days during your cycle that you are a little bit more hungry. I suggest to all my female clients that you take in another half portion of protein at a meal, normally your first meal. Just feed yourself, like get yourself satiated. Like it should not be this thing where like once a month you have to deal with this. Like you can deal with like if there's a calorie consequence, basically, like if that 2 days, like it's 2 or 3 days of like 200 or 300 extra calories a month. Have that. Give yourself permission to have that so you feel satiated. This should not be a battle. And this is what I want. This is what we do in our coaching too. This is one of the reasons why, if you have been having trouble with your eating habits and stuff like that, why we can help you with our coaching. It is daily communication, weekly video conferences, and we help you adjust your lifestyle bit by bit by bit, because it should not be a struggle. It absolutely should not be a struggle. It should not be something that you have to be completely dedicated to. You should set yourself up in habits that just have you be healthier and have you not struggle with it. Like I struggle with my binge eating every day because I have an actual eating disorder. It's binge eating disorder. And I do not ever want to give it the courtesy to pretend it doesn't exist. And then all of a sudden it take me over again. That will not happen to me. I will never ignore it. But I also lead a life fairly food stress-free. There's several items I do not ever eat. And there's several items I don't eat inside the house because I don't have good portion control with them. I don't eat them responsibly. And one item I don't ever eat because it will make me binge, and that's peanut M&Ms. But beyond that, I just kind of moderate myself. I stick to certain things. Like I'm always going to hydrate well. My binges are way more, like in my mind, they're way more because I allow myself to fall out of habits, like healthy habits that support me not binging, right? Stress relief, hydration, proper sleep, right? If I get bad nights of sleep, if my insomnia hits, I fucking so focus on hydration, focus on it, because I don't want two of these plates that I'm spinning to fall off at the same time, because that could lead to a binge. People should understand that they can like do better without it being completely like without it like absorbing your life or being torturous. You should not be overtly hungry multiple days of the month. You should be satiated and satisfied. You should not be overfed. The idea is that what we try to find is the line where the person can be satiated and satisfied between eating almost all whole foods and then occasionally, just for pleasure, to help them feel satisfied, items for pleasure. And that's what we do at our coaching. That's how we kind of That's kind of how we kind of help people rewrite their lifestyles. And then once we get used to those habits, we do it a little bit more. And those habits, we do a little bit more, Is no more okay to give the 21-year-old Lauren? We already don't do no fast food. So yes, no morbidity is absolutely okay to give to a 21-year-old. Absolutely okay. Let's see here. I started backtracking my calories recently, and it really helped me cutting out overeating. Tracking, in addition to no morbidity supplement, has done amazing for me. That is amazing, Valerie. What I would love for you to do is, as you're inputting your meals into, you're inputting your calories into the tracker, be guessing ahead of time before you put it in. Okay, you want to start teaching yourself these, so it becomes almost like second nature. And then you won't, like, if you all of a sudden forget to put stuff in, you're keeping mental track. You kind of want to make yourself, you want to use the opportunity to, while you're tracking, to teach yourself what all these things are, so you can then become the tracker type thing. But great job. If sucralose is linked to cancer, why does Mark still put it in nectar, or does he put such small amounts that it's not harmful? You'd have to ask Mark about that, but from what I understand, it's super small amounts. So, but you'd have to ask him about that. I hope she is successful in her journey. It's long and hard, and lots of learning to do. I completely agree. I completely agree. I would have ate dozens of donuts and dozens of eclairs, but now I ate 2 dozen of sushi rolls and sweet and sour chicken. We'll binge on 300 ground beef and kefir later, and maybe some beans too. Don't binge, like, don't overeat. Don't eat to the state of uncomfortableness. That's a bad habit to get into also, okay? Because that's the idea, like, giving yourself permission to have a meal, something for pleasure occasionally, is one thing. To hurt yourself, which is what a binge is. Eating to the point where you're overfull is hurting yourself. That's a different story. So be careful. Haven't seen the guy that told you that your cardiovascular fit in a while. He's probably one of the commenters. Are rice cakes okay? I eat them fairly often. So it depends on what else you're eating. It depends on how often you eat them, how much of them you eat, what you're putting on them, how often you have them, when you have them. Depends. Rice cakes are pure carbs. Yeah, but they're almost, it still depends on when you have them. Carbohydrates are not necessary, but they're not evil, especially if it's if you have, like, to view something like a rice cake as something super bad, it's not necessarily healthy either, Some are less calorie dense depending on how much air is put into them. Absolutely. But I still think that if they're better than bread, I should say that, they're a better vessel than bread. So I have them occasionally though, but when I have them, I will have some peanut butter and jelly on one. I'll be the first one to say, like, the idea is to not make it feel like you have to restrict from everything, like occasionally have something. I would classify them as a processed food though, just so everybody knows. So I occasionally do have them though. I replace my oatmeal with eggs in the morning and my energy is so much better. No more acne either. That's fucking awesome, Emily. Great goddamn job. I've never understood sugary cereal for breakfast. I'm instantly starving. I don't even keep cereal in my house anymore. Good for you. Absolutely good for you. I'm making keto waffles and turnip hash when we get a brunch. That's good. Good. Lisa, how are you? Chris, what's going on? Late but gets it. I hear you. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate you. Obesity and depression they're absolutely linked. Obesity causes my 40-year-old friends to have health issues I associate with 70-year-olds. Yep, always. Fit to Fat to Fit show. Oh yeah, it's mass. It causes massive depression. I love Immortal, but MTS is still out of stock. What would you recommend in its place? If I'm not going to get Immortal, I normally get like anyone at the store. The thing with Immortal is it's like 4 supplements because it's like a greens thing, it's a probiotic, it's so many things. That's why I like Immortal. But otherwise, that like for the multivitamin portion, I would just get a multivitamin at the store. But like Immortal's so much more than a multivitamin, you know. Hey, Alan, does your body get used to the workout that is no longer an impact? How would I identify at this point? Does your body get used to a workout that's no longer an impact? Just because your body gets used to the workout doesn't mean you're not still working yourself out. You know what I mean? Like there's gonna be only so fit that you can do. Push yourself a little harder, maybe with the rest times and stuff like that. But I mean, if you're still getting activity and you might not be progressing too much when it comes to muscular development and stuff like that. But like that's not, and again, just for the record, that's not really the type of coaching I do. But if it's always good to change stuff up. I change my workouts up fairly often just to fucking keep myself interested more than anything, you know? I managed not to binge and overeat while at the hospital overnight. I was visiting and staying with someone, brought food with me. Good for you, Heidi. Good for you. And I hope the person that you're talking about gets better. I find myself craving salt. What is something healthy I can eat to satisfy this craving? Salt your food. You should salt your food. Or I'll do a pickle maybe to satisfy that craving. Yes, we usually gain 5 pounds between Friday and Sunday, but this week only 1 pound again. Good for you. Good for you. That's a lot of huge mass difference. Plan to ask my doctor about no more breastfeeding and the hunger is real. I don't think you should breastfeed and take no morbidity. And there's not any data that shows that you shouldn't. There's just been no testing to say it's absolutely safe. I'm in a weird position when it comes to this, and Mark agrees with me, by the way. Like, so about this, like, I'm not going to do what the pharmaceutical industry does with our products. Like, don't if you're pregnant, don't take no morbidity. There's no data that shows it's unsafe for you, but there's no data that shows it's safe. And I'm going to lean on that. Since there's no data that shows it's safe, don't take it because you're pregnant. It's a baby. Especially like breastfeeding, same thing. Please don't. Please wait till you're done. Try to, and Caitlin, if get a consultation or something, maybe I can help you rearrange your food in a way that is going to help you not be as hungry. But we have multiple clients, by the way, that are breastfeeding right now. But please understand. Like, I'm not saying that it's unsafe. I'm just since it's not proven safe, I don't think you should take it. You know. So, a range of studies have found that no evidence that sucralose causes cancer in humans. Cohort study, sucralose intake was not associated with risk of cancer. I know, but I mean, it's an artificial sweetener still, and Mark is going to put safe amounts of food in his shit. It's I really believe that person was trying to just be a troll. That could be fucking what's his name for all we know. I get my cardio chasing my 3-year-old. That's absolutely a good way. Rice cakes with eggs, avocado, and everything, but bagel seasoning. That sounds good. No, sorry, that will only make me feel full and satiated at the moment. That's to not feel hungry. I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about, Seta. So. What's your advice on cutting out dependency on sweeteners? It seems to me to be getting more and more dependent upon them. I seem to be getting more and more dependent upon them. My advice would be to try to cut them as quickly as humanly possible. Because the problem with that is a lot of times your body, anytime you even taste sweet, it still goes through the same hormonal reaction depending on what type of artificial sweetener it is. It still tells your body to make fat, that sort of things. But it also makes you hungrier because your body's like, hey, I want more of that, you know? Tammy Lemon. Hey, I just want to thank you. You really inspired me earlier in the stream talking about how to pick up after a binge. I'm on the replay. Tammy, is that really you? Because I'd love to have a conversation with you if that's really you. You know, just so you know. At some point in time, I'd love to have you on the channel, if not right now. If that's actually you, I'd love to have you on here. I don't know if it is, though, because there's no check by it. But. Well, Ellen, I'm checking on something. Give me one more second. Because if that's actually you, Tammy, I'd love to have a conversation at some point in time. That would be pretty neat. And good. So, Tammy Lemon, if that is actually you, please reach out to me either on Instagram or reach out to me on Twitter, and I'd love to have you on the channel, and we could go over we could literally view it as try to help people, and we could view it as a counseling session if that's actually you. Or, and this is no shit, if you just want to get help, I'll help you. So give me 1 second here. Sorry, I'm checking something out here. There we are. Well, Tammy, that is actually you. That's amazing. Okay. Tell you what, I'd love to have you on the channel at some point in time. Or love to talk to you at some point in time. Give you whatever advice I can to help you out. People have asked me to check out your channel a lot, and if you ever want to have a conversation, need some help, let me know. I'd be absolutely totally down to it. And thank you for the compliment. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. You really inspired me earlier in this stream talking about how to pick yourself up for binge. I'm on the replay. Very good. Thank you very much. Everything super processed is too much sugar. I completely agree with that. Thank you for answering my question, Curtis. You're very welcome. I recently have been focusing on 10 grams of fiber per day, 10 grams of fiber per meal, and it has really helped. Of course, lots of water too. The fiber thing, a lot of people use that to satiate them. I have a fiber supplement that I take occasionally, but I take most of mine in from like veggies and stuff like that too. More water can also help with cell cravings, as you indicated that you're underhydrated. Most people are. Do I track my macros? MyFitnessPal to me seems off. I do not track my calories anymore. I did for a long time. People that join our app, by the way, and our coaching clients can track your macros right in our app, and we will give guidance on those things too in our app. But I do not track mine. I just kind of taught myself what is in everything. And very honestly, as long as I'm eating whole foods and controlling my binges, my weight stays fairly the same. I can alter it. And again, I'm not hungry. So I eat what I know, like the portions of food I know I need to eat. I'm not hungry, so I don't feel forced to, Cactus Patch, I eat small pieces of jerky when I crave something salty. That's good too. Is Immortal back in stock? I'm not sure. Processed foods and sugars cause inflammation. They absolutely do. Thank you for the sucrose info. Learning a lot. Good for you. Good. Thank you very much. What's up, KC? How you doing? You're supposed to be super hungry during breastfeeding, though. You are providing nutrition to your child, and your body needs fuel. That's what I'm saying. You should feed yourself a little bit more. But also, we work with people, and that's what we normally do. So, just so you know. I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Definitely going to check out your website. Thanks for answering my questions. You're very welcome. Thank you very much. And in case anybody just wants to join the app, give me 1 second. Here is the link to just join the app. You get live pre-recorded classes, all sorts of things like that. And Tam, if you're still watching, I'm probably going to reach out to you on either Instagram or whatever. Because I mean, people have been asking me to go over your channel forever. I think it would just be neat for us to go over what you think I could help you with live at some point in time. So please let me know. What do I do if I never feel satisfied and full of after my lunch? It causes me to binge. I have protein, fiber, carbs, and healthy fats on my plate, but I'm still feeling unsatisfied and want sugar. It sounds to me like you've got a problem with sugar, Dasha. I would love to help you out at some point in time. Because if you have that big of a problem with sugar, one of the things that Crystal does really well, I'm good at it, but Crystal does really, really well, is help people break their sugar dependency. And she does that through our coaching. So you can actually ask for a consultation with her, even if you wanted, or me, or there's our link to our coaching. I do think you should increase the portion of protein by the same size portion you have of carbohydrates, and pull the carbohydrates away from the meal. Add a little bit more protein, healthy fat, try to satiate you that way. I'd also ask how much fluid you have in by midday. If you don't have at least 50% of your total hydration, or 75% of your total hydration for the day in. So basically take your body weight, times it by 0.75, and try to get that much hydration in by your midday in ounces. That might help you feel more satiated and help you avoid the binge too. But if you need to help avoid binges, you should get a consultation. We can help you out. I do hope that helped out with it a little bit too much. Or a little too much. I do hope that helped you out a little bit. But again, I would suggest somebody that's having, it seems like multiple issues that are causing it to binge, causing you to binge. I do think that it would be really, really, really good for you to get a consultation. We can help you out, or consultation or whatever you need to do, like consultation, coaching, that sort of thing. Yeah, right. And we're at an hour and 20 minutes. Man, I went over. Holy shit. So thank you for taking a stand on all the things you do. Keep it real. You're very welcome. Thank you very much. The biggest trick you taught me to not be hungry was stop diet drinks. I'm telling you, when the diet drinks, they taste sweet. So the body still recognizes it's sweet. So it still makes you hungry, The consultation was really motivating. Amy, I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad it did well for you. Thank you very much. It was great talking to you. So unrelated to the video, but do you guys have any ideas on when product 2 is coming out? We're told April. We're told early April. So hey, I just bought Beyond Willpower and book. I got links for the app and ParQ. I see you in there. I'll be sending you a message here as soon as I'm done. So no, fill out the ParQ and everything like that. Yeah. But I mean, I believe that it's thank you. Oh, thank you for the purchase of the book. No, that we sent that. Like the thank you for the purchase of the book. That's me. I just messaged you back. That's me. That sent you the book. And the app is, you get the app, but to be on the app, you have to have a ParQ. So you get the app for free. And I just sent you a message. That's where your book's at you. I went on a diet on diet root beer for a couple of weeks and was starving. Seconds I stopped, hunger stopped. It's because even though there's not sugar, even though there's not calories, the taste of sweet is still causing you to be hungry. Like, this is what we do. We can control hunger. We can help you learn the habits to control your hunger. We can figure out what makes you hungry through our coaching and help you avoid, mitigate, or just eat those things at a time when it's going to make you less hungry for your day. Like this can be done, I worked out every day this week. That is outstanding. Great show today. Thank you very much. I have a slightly elevated LDL, and the doctor says it could be due to animal products intake. What would you recommend for the getting inadequate protein while limiting animal products? I'm not a doctor, but I would get a second opinion. But I also you could take in more peas, more lima beans, more beans like that, stuff like that for the protein. Beans and rice is a full protein. Hemp seed is amazing for protein. Chia, those sorts of things. So Helen is a really nice person outside YouTube. Everyone should have a consultation with him and just see that. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. She also mentions it could be partially genetic. Partially, I'd imagine. So grow up your taste buds a little. Okay. I love peas. Yeah. Red meat and olive oil can lower your LDL as well. I agree. That's why I said get a second consultation. Anyway, guys, hour and 23 minutes. I got to go. I hope everybody has a great day. Please do. Here it is. You can use this a way to as a way to change your life. If you've yo-yo dieted, we can help you change your life with a consultation or with coaching. Anyway, Alan, I'm up at 4 a.m., but hitting munchie mode about 6 p.m. What is the best time for Nomo? I would say somewhere around probably 4 p.m. Have a good day. All right. Talk to everybody soon. Bye.